And some of the Pharisees from among the multitude said unto him, Master, rebuke thy disciples. And he answered and said unto them, I tell you that if these should hold their peace, the stones would immediately cry out. And when he was come near, he beheld the city, and wept over it, saying, If thou hadst known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace. But now they are hid from thine eyes. For the days shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee. And they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. And he went into the temple, and began to cast out them that sold therein, and them that bought, saying unto them, It is written, My house is the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. And he taught daily in the temple. But the chief priests and the scribes and the chief of the people sought to destroy him, and could not find what they might do, for all the people were very attentive to hear him.
Shalom, all praise, glory, and fears to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, and a citation to the elect, lively stones, 144,000, the high house of David, the house of prayer, alright, making intercession to the Lord, and complaining continually, standing upon their feet, making their voice heard to the Lord, crying out in our watches. And I just did that video about the den of thieves, but now we're going to go into the other side of it, the house of prayer, which you're supposed to be in. Luke 19 and verse 46, saying unto them, It is written, My house is a house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. Now let's go into the word prayer, which the Lord said, pray without ceasing. So continually as we meditate about His will being done, His kingdom come, forgiving your debt as you forgive your debtors. You got a lot of Jews, they don't forgive another man, which is like unto himself, and he seeketh pardon from the Lord. See, a lot of Jews, man, they're losing the key to their head. But it says, a prayer addressed to God, a place set apart or suited for the offering of prayer. A place in the open air where the Jews were wont to pray, outside of cities where they had no synagogue. Such places were situated upon the bank of a stream or the shore of a sea, where there was a supply of water for washing the hands before prayer. You see? And that's one thing the Lord said. He said, wash. He said to wash you, make you clean. This is James 4 and 8. It says, draw nigh to God, and He will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, yea, double-minded, and so that you can be one, single-minded. Your heart be single, your eyes single, with the Lord. Alright? Hear, O Israel, our power is one, achad, not divided. You see? And how do you cleanse your hands? You lift up the trumpet, and you show Israel their transgressions, where they're going off, their sins. 1 Kings 8 and 41. Moreover, concerning a stranger that is not of thy people Israel, but cometh out of a far country for thy name's sake. Now, the only ones that's going to come to the Lord for the name's sake, His name's sake, is going to be what? The ones that are called and chosen and faithful. See, the name of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, is dreadful amongst the heathen, and even our own people, because 2/3, alright, they're heathens and publicans, because after the second and third admonition, let him be unto thee as a publican and man and a heathen. You see? It says, for they shall hear of thy great name, and of thy strong hand, and of thy stretched out arm, when he shall come and pray toward this house. Hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place, and do according to all that the stranger calleth to thee for, that all people of the earth may know thy name to fear thee, as do thy people Israel, and that they may know that this house which I have builded is called by thy name. Verse 44. If thy people go out to battle against the enemy, whithersoever thou shalt send them, and shall pray unto the Lord toward the city which thou hast chosen, and toward the house that I have built for thy name, then hear thou in heaven their prayer and their supplication, and maintain their cause. And Lord, maintain our cause. You see, he that has begun this good work in us is good work within us is going to finish it. Lord, when we endure into the end, because we got a lot of dudes falling out and getting seduced by these seducing spirits and falling into the darkness, man. Falling into either the water, which is on the left hand, or the fire on the right hand. That word is Aisha for maintain. Aisha is to accomplish, to work, to deal with, act with effect, make effective. You see? To work about anything, to labor. You see? And that's what the Lord is doing. He's working in these last days. Psalms 119. And this is the times we're in. This is Psalms 119 and 126. It is time for thee, Lord, Yahweh, to work, for they have made void thy law. You see? Making it empty. Now, some breaking news just showing you how the Lord's making his moves, man, on the earth. I just got this breaking news from my brethren. Alright, it says here. Alright. A war and rumor of war. News article. Alright. It says from OrthodoxTimes.com. It says Erdogan's advisor, which he's the leader of Turkey. Alright. Our pilots will soon shoot down 5 to 6 Greek aircrafts and we will get into war. September 7th, 2020, 14:25. So we're chilling the light, chilling the day, and that's why this day of the Lord is not going to take us as a thief. We're going to be prepared and ready for whatever and whichever the Lord has prepared for us, man. You know? Alright, this is Matthew 20 and 23. And he saith unto them, Ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. And when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the two brethren. But Yahushua called them unto him, and said, Ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you, but whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many. So have to be following Yahushua, which a lot of dudes come to find out they're not. 1 Kings 8 and 46. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not. And thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near, which has indubitably happened to us. I learned that from an elder. That word means without a doubt. It says, without a shadow of turn. It says, yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives, and repent. You know, one thing with me, I don't really like to get too heavy into deep words. I just get right to the point, you know, like Paul said, for Corinthians. Alright, 1 Corinthians 2 and 4 says, and my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of the Most High. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. See, and that's what's going to happen to all you princes of this world, man. Verse 7. But we speak this wisdom of God in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which God ordained before the world unto our glory, which none of the princes of this world knew. For had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. You see? Even the princes of the power, man, the Israelites even crucified the Lord, man, gave him up. And let's get that word for enticing, the word enticing words. Alright, tempting, attractive or tempting, alluring. You see? 1 Kings 8 and verse 47. Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives, and repent, and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captives, saying, We have sinned, and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward the land which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name. Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause. And forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgression when they have transgressed against thee. See, but the main thing is what? They literally confess, I've committed wickedness, I have sinned, I've done perversely, right? And they're asking pardon. But a lot of you don't confess your faults, man. You think you're perfect. You think you're chosen. You think you're already saved already. You got that Christianity spirit on you, man. You gotta be walking on eggshells, man. Because no one's saved. Summer has passed and we are still not saved. 1 Kings 8 and 50. And give them compassion before them who carried them captive, that they may have compassion on them. For they be thy people and thy inheritance, which thou broughtest forth out of Egypt from the midst of the furnace of iron. That thine eyes may be open unto the supplication of thy servant, and unto the supplication of thy people Israel, to hearken unto them in all that they call for unto thee. For thou didst separate them from among all the people of the earth, to be thy inheritance, as thou spakest by the hand of Moses thy servant, when thou broughtest our fathers out of Egypt, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Even when the whole nation Israel was brought out of the land of Egypt, there was even more separation. You had the time of the golden calf and Moses, and the Lord said through Moses, choose now who you're going to stand with, the golden calf or the Lord. See, there was division amongst them, and then those dudes were swallowed up and destroyed. You have division about the ones that were unbelieving or unfaithful, they had to pass away in the wilderness, and then the little ones inherited the earth, inherited the land. Joshua and Caleb had a different spirit within them. John 2 and 15 says, And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changes of money, and overthrew the tables. You see? And that's what the Lord's going to do now again today. Alright, your money's not going to be able to save you. Pretty soon the dollar's going to collapse. It's going to be of no value, of no force. The word overthrow is the Greek word anastrepho, meaning to turn upside down, overturn. Alright? Metaphorically, to conduct oneself, behave oneself, to live. Alright? So, when you go to the book of Acts, that's what the man of the Lord is always doing. Alright, this is Acts 17 and verse 6. And when they found, let me start verse 5. But the Jews which believed not. See, the unbelievers, the unfaithful, the unloyal, they're going to come against us, man. It says, but the Jews which believe not, move with envy. See, they preach outside envy and strife, not love and knowing that we are in defense of the gospel. See, it took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort, right? Low dudes, man, low lives. And gathered company, and set all the city on an uproar. There's all uproars and protests everywhere, and assaulted the house of Jason, which Jason means healing. We're healing you in this house of Jason, house of prayer, the house of David, and the true believers, and sought to bring them out to the people. And when they found them not, see, when the Lord's hidden place, they drew Jason and certain brethren unto the rulers of the city, crying, These that have turned the world upside down are come hither also, whom Jason hath received. And these all do contrary to the decrees of Caesar, saying that there is another king, one, Yahushai. You see? It's nothing new under the sun. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, so Yahushai literally made a scourge of small cords, and that's what he's holding in his hand, alright? His elect, his battle axe and weapon of war. And it means a whip. An example, a Roman lash as a public punishment, a scourge. Alright, G54:17. Alright, a scourge, same thing. So when you go to alright, when you go to Luke 14 and 30, it says, let me start verse 29. It says, less happily after he had laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it began to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. You gotta finish what you started, man. But a lot of dudes are just giving up, saying, I'll finish later, putting the day of the Lord off, man, when it's very near, man. They're saying that there's about to be an EMP amidst this whole election, okay? Trump wants to administrate the vaccines by the military. History's being made, man. And how do you want to be remembered? Sirach 16 and 13. The sinner shall not escape with his spoils, and the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated. You know, so we're not going to be frustrated, man. And all you thieves and robbers, you're not going to escape with any of your spoil, man. You see? That word frustrate means to exasperate, to prevent a planned or attempted action from progress and succeeding or being fulfilled. Everything the Lord said is going to be fulfilled, man. 2 Samuel 7:27. For thou, O Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, hast revealed to thy servant, saying, I will build thee an house. Therefore hath thy servant found in his heart to pray this prayer unto thee. And now, Lord, power, thou art the power, and thy words be true, and thou hast promised this goodness unto thy servant. Therefore now let it please thee to bless the house of thy servant, that it may continue forever before thee. For thou, O Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, hast spoken it. And with thy blessing, let the house of thy servant be blessed forever. You see, so it's going to be blessed. The Lord's going to establish it forever, man. The border of the widow. But the house of the proud, all you dudes that taking this word and being deceitful, I don't care if you got the title of IUIC, Sakari, whatever, man. All these big titles, GMS even. It's not about the title, it's about the spirit. It's about if you're chosen, if you're really part of the Lord's elect. Alright? Job 16 and verse 11. God delivered me to the ungodly, and turned me over into the hands of the wicked. I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. He hath also taken me by my neck, and shaken me to pieces, and set me up for his mark. His archers compass me round about. He cleaveth my reins asunder, and doth not spare. He poureth out my gall upon the ground. He breaketh me with a breach upon breach. He runneth upon me like a giant. So you're being chastised. See, time and time again, you have the wicked that killed the prophets, murdered them, torn down our altars and our houses of prayer, right? But now the Lord's closing up the breaches, man. And the breaches basically, the word is parataza, meaning a gap, alright, a broken wall, an outburst figuratively of God's wrath. So there was a big break in our wall, man, in our fortress. You see, and the wrath of the Lord upon Israel, alright, all Israel, the good and the bad. You see, I have sewed sackcloth upon my skin. See, and that's what prophesying in. And defiled my horn in the dust. My face is foul with weeping, and on my eyelids is the shadow of death. That's all we see now, everywhere we turn. Not for any injustice in mine hands, also my prayer is pure. O earth, cover not thou my blood, and let my cry have no place. Also now, behold, my witness is in heaven, and my record is on high. My friends scorn me, but mine eye poureth out tears unto God. Oh, that one might plead for a man with God, as a man pleadeth for his neighbor. When a few years are come, then I shall go the way whence I shall not return. And Lord, and guess what? Just like the Lord said, you know, He's gonna deliver you out of Egypt, and you shall never return there again. We're about to be delivered from America. We're never going to return here ever again, man. It's gonna be beautiful. And let's get that word for scorn. My friends scorn me. The word scorn is lawat taza, and it means to talk arrogantly, to deride, mock, to be inflated, act as a scorner, show oneself a mocker, make mouths at. You see, and arrogantly. So in what the Lord say through Peter, He said, "Be not ignorant, for in the last days scoffers and mockers shall rise." Man, it says arrogantly, in a manner resulting from or revealing an exaggerated sense of one's own importance or abilities, right? Dudes are all about their own persons, man. Their own selves. A scorner, a person who expressed contempt or disdain for someone or something. You got a lot of dudes, oh, you're doing too much. You know? You can never do too much for the Lord, man. It's just because you lukewarm, that's why you hate men that's in the spirit, pushing his word mightily, man. Without ceasing, without giving the Lord no rest, man, to establish and make Jerusalem a house of prayer and a house of rejoicing and a praise on the earth. Psalms 102:1. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and let my cry come unto thee. Hide not thy face from me in the day when I am in trouble. Incline thine ear unto me in the day when I call. Answer me speedily. Speedily, man. And that's what our hope is in. 1 Peter 3:12. For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. And who is he that will harm you if ye be followers of that which is good? But and if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye. We're happy, man. I'm happy for everything I've been through and everything I'm about to have to face. I'm happy, man. I'm grateful. I'm thankful every day, every breath, every sip of water. I'm grateful, man. And be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled. But sanctify Yahweh Bashem Shai in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asks you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. Having a good conscience, that whereas they speak evil of you, which they do, as of evildoers, that they may be ashamed that false accuse your good conversation, Yahweh Shai. This is Sirach 3:18. It says, let me start verse 17. It says, my son, go on with thy business in meekness, so shalt thou be a beloved of him that is approved. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. Many are called, many false prophets, many are in high place, many and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Proverbs 15:8. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but he loveth him that followeth after righteousness. See, and that's what we're following. We're following after Yahweh Shai, even unto death. Even to death do his part. Even into incarceration, we have to be thrown in jail. Keep on doing this work, man. That word delight means to please greatly, to take great pleasure. Please someone greatly. And because we keep on pleasing the Lord's going to please us, man. You see? Let's go to Ezra's. Second Ezra 7:18. Nevertheless, verse 17 says, then answered I and said, O Lord, that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the ungodly should perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things, difficult things, hard things, sorrowful things, sad things, miscarriages, loss of things, loss of life, and hope for wide, right? Hope for eternity, hope for everything. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide. And he said unto me, there is no judge above God, and none that hath understanding above the highest. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of God that is set before them. You see? Sirach 21:5. A prayer out of a poor man's mouth reacheth to the ears of God, and his judgment cometh speedily. You see, without delay, man. Rapidly, promptly. So Lord's really dealing with men that are poor, that are lowly, of a contrite spirit. He that hated to be reproved is in the way of sinners. I love to be reproved, man. but he that feareth the Lord will repent from his heart. An eloquent man is known far and near, but a man of understanding knoweth when he slippeth. You know, and brother did a video going into he accidentally sent Samuel and should have said Saul, but he, you know, they're, you know, a man understand you gonna know when you slip. You know, you just gonna get back up, man. Wipe the dust off and keep it moving, man. You know, like Scripture say, if that town and city doesn't hear what you say, just wipe the dust off your feet. You know. All right, this is Sirach 19 and 16. There's one that slippeth in his speech, but not from his heart. And who is he that hath not offended with his tongue? Admonish thy neighbor before thou threaten him, and not being angry give place to the law of the Most High. The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtaineth his love. You see, so going into, you know, how you're supposed to pray, you know, you're supposed to wash your hands first and then lift them up. You see, the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is a doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. You know, and that's what the Lord is seeking. That's who the Lord is seeking out, and he's finding them. And he's using us just as a vessel to put out this vibration, this frequency, all right, vehemently to get them sealed, man. John 4 and 24. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. You know, and the spirit is a word. Matter of fact, the spirit is a life force. Matter of fact, let me just go to and the truth is a fact of a matter, the quality or state of being true. And let me just go to John 16 and 13. Howbeit, when he, the spirit of truth, the force of truth, the facts. Because many men, man, they're deceived by their own vain opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them. Sirach 3 and 24. But not many have the truth. This treasure in this earthen vessel. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. And that's why unrighteous judgment is going out so much. John 16 and 13. Howbeit, when he, the spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak of himself. Well, you guys speak of yourself. Look at me. Look at me. Oh, man. It's too much, man. Insider. But whatsoever ye shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will show you things to come. And Lord is showing us things to come through his spirit. See, a lot of people about to get surprised, and a lot of dudes that you might have thought were men of the Lord, they're gonna come to find out they are not. Proverbs 15 and 28. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. And that's what we're doing. We're studying to show ourselves approved. You see, a right workful man of the Lord rightfully divine the word of truth, that ye be not ashamed, that ye may have praise of the Lord and not of another. Let me get that too. But that word poureth, matter of fact, let me get that precept now. No delay. Alright, this is 2 Timothy 2 and 15. That's Ephesians 2 and 10. For we are his workmanship, created in Hamashiach Yahushua unto good works, which the Most High hath before ordained that we should walk in them. You know, when you go into that word walk, you know, like Enoch walked, he was translated of the Most High because he pleased him. You go into the word walk, it's your manner of life, your mannerisms, your conduct, how you uphold yourself, and how you deal with your neighbor. Second Timothy chapter 2. in verse 13. It says, if we believe not, yet he abideth faithful, he cannot deny himself. Of these things put them in remembrance, charging them before the Lord, that they strive not about words to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearers. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. You see? But shun profane and vain babblings, they will increase unto more ungodliness. You see? So we're shunning that. You see? And their word will eat as doth a canker, of whom is Hymenaeus and Philetus, whom concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some. So these spirits are back here today, man. And Paul had to literally pinpoint them out, and he literally called out their name, man. You see? And you wicked niggas, man, out there, man. Pretty soon you're gonna be showing us who you truly are, man. If you really for the Lord or you're not. Nevertheless, the foundation of God standeth sure, having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his. You see? And let every one that nameth the name of Yahweh depart from iniquity. That's the thing. Not everyone that names the Yahweh Bashim Shai is departing from iniquity, which is sin upon sin upon sin, not learning from your mistakes, and doing the same thing over and over, man. Alright, Proverbs 15 and verse 28. The heart of the righteous study to answer. You see? And what the Lord say? Don't answer before thou hast heard the cause. And we've heard the cause, now we're waging out, we're on our warpath, man. Alright, verse 29. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. You see? We're going to conclude this video with this precept in Sirach 35 in verse 12. It says, do not think to corrupt with gifts, for such you will not receive. And trust not to unrighteous sacrifices, for the Lord is judge, and within him is no respect of persons. He will not accept any person against a poor man, but will hear the prayer of the oppressed. He will not despise the supplication of the fatherless, nor the widow when she poureth out her complaint. Do not the tears run down the widow's cheeks, and is not her cry against him that causeth them to fall? He that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach unto the clouds. The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds until it come nigh. He will not be comforted. See, we're not comforted, man. We're not happy. We're not comfortable here, man. We're not making our bed here with adulteresses and the wicked murderers and sinful, wicked people, man. You're evil, man. And will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. For the Lord will not be slack, neither will the mighty be patient toward them, till you have smitten in son of the loins of the merciful, and repay vengeance to the heathen, till you have taken away the multitude of the proud, and broken the scepter of the unrighteous, till he have rendered to every man according to his deeds, and to the works of men according to their devices, till he have judged the cause of his people, and made them to rejoice in his mercy. Mercy is seasonable in time of affliction, which we are in. It's only going to increase as clouds of rain in the time of drought. So in these last days, as we get closer and closer towards the end of all things being fulfilled in the Lord, can you stand the rain? Will you be able to stand the rain and stand, have done all to stand? All the praises, glory, honor, fears to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kadash. Wow, Baba Ball.